All right, so we're going to start out tonight looking at the Golden State offensive film. I would like to start there first because I think this is the more problematic area. I know Golden State didn't shoot very well in this game, but looking at the kind of shot quality they were able to generate is, I mean, I'm not pleased. So, I mean, here, take a look at this. This is looking game after game here. In game, so expected effective field goal percentage, game by game for the Lakers, and then for the Warriors. For the Lakers, we see, game 2 was really low. We noticed that. They weren't able to get into the paint. The ice defense was working really well. Game 1, game 3, game 4, in the same ballpark. For the Warriors, 3 games in a row, about in the same ballpark. And then game 4, they put up a really high number, higher than anything the Lakers, higher than anything the Lakers have been able to get close to. Thankfully for LA, though, Golden State underperformed it by quite a bit. And then on top of that, we had the free throw disparity. So LA didn't shoot better from the court, but they were able to grit the game out, get those free throws. They had more scoring possessions, and that's what won them the game. But to me, this number right here is concerning. And it is indicative of, the Lakers didn't shut this team down. This wasn't, brilliant defensive adjustments, probably. This was the Lakers got a bit lucky here, and Golden State didn't hit shots. Now, I'm sure there were some things LA did well. I'm sure there were things they did poorly, and same thing with Golden State. What stood out to me live watching the game was that Golden State got away from what had been working, which was the ball screen attack. But so that is something that I want to keep an eye out for as we're digging into what we dig into here tonight. As we start with the Golden State offense first, they started Gary Payton II. What kind of offense were they able to generate? Oh, and that expected effective field goal percentage data is from Second Spectrum. All right, so Golden State starting out, first play of the game, going to a ball screen. We've got AD. See here, he's below the level of the screen by a step. He could be in drop. He could, in theory, be hedging. He could be switching. We don't know yet. The way we will know is if he contains this way, he's hedging. If he's retreating more, he's in drop. If he just kind of sticks with Steph, he may be switching. We don't know yet. Here, okay. So we see Steph pull the ball. Given how he's angled, I think the intent was potentially for him to get back, but this effectively ends up being a hedge and recover. Thankfully, Payton catches the ball right in the middle of the floor, doesn't look at the rim, and gets it to Andrew Wiggins. What a bad short roll. Wiggins misses. LA gets away with one there. Next play of the game. We're going to see a ball screen. Let's see. Sloppy play, but we're seeing Green set a flex screen, trying to just make his man and Vando AD and Vando not really be looking to deny the post entry. This is a good idea in general. We've seen the Lakers run stuff like this. And then just a bad post entry, and then Vando reads this well and doesn't just play behind him. He tries to make this a difficult entry. So good stuff there. Pickable. We've got a secondary break. The Lakers didn't score. Golden State looking to run. And that's a pretty good contest. A deep three, a pull-up three, a contested three. AD's got a hand up. D'Lo's coming at Steph with a hand up. And he splashes it. So this is, this counted as a ball screen, I think, but this is Draymond run blocking with Steph coming in behind. Yeah, that's your offense is what you worry about more than, what are you going to do in that situation? defensively. That's just tough to defend. Here we see AD beaten down the court by Payton. By the time he does get in position, he's moving towards the rim instead of having been under the rim and ready to kind of probe out and attack here. Thankfully, D'Lo stays in front. And Wiggins, for the second play in a row, just throws the ball away. Well, 2 out of 3 plays, throws the ball away. Vando draws the foul at the rim. So again here, we're going to get a ball screen. Look how high this screen is being set. That stands out to me. Something to keep an eye out for as we go through this film. That's a really high screen. AD's not going all the way out to defend it. I don't think I want AD going all the way out to defend that. And he's in a position to try to contest normal threes and then get back to the rim. But what this really high screen does do for the defense, especially with Reaves trying to go over this, to me, this is a tweak the Lakers can look to make. Reaves doesn't need to go over the screen. Here's where the Lakers' high drop defense fell apart, is they tried to go over these really high ball screens, and you don't need to. Why are you going over this? If he shoots from right here, so be it. AD's in position, he can get a light contest up. Where this becomes problematic is if Steph were to take one more dribble, AD's going to recover, and then Reaves looks to recover. Because Reaves tries to go over, he's got to go all the way around this way. This gives Payton, because it's such a high ball screen, the windows here are really important. If the screen is set right here, or wait, how did they? No, they run it the other way. Hang on. If the screen is set right here, and the defense is trying to go over, you help you recover. These two guys, 1, 2, you get a high tag, and then you can recover. And by the time you recover, AD's back. That would be your intent. Because this screen is so high up, look at this window here that Payton can roll into and get the ball. These guys are out of position. They can't defend that. Reaves is in no man's land. He's at the Laker logo. What is he like? This is not a place we need any Laker defenders. AD does his job, whether he's switching, whether he's in a high drop, or whether he's in a hedge. This situation right here looks exactly the same as long as the Lakers are picking up as high as they are on Steph and then going over ball screens. Ooh, this is different. Okay. Let's think about, how would this be any different if this is a switch from right here? If this is a switch, Reaves is still on Payton. Payton has the inside track, and this lane is still open. Same exact thing. If this is a hedge, same exact thing. So the coverage itself doesn't matter when you're able to create situations like this. And that's why at halftime last night, I talked about going under these screens, and I talked about maybe not picking stuff up quite as high. Let's see, how high does Reaves pick him up here? Yeah, he's at the end of the Lakers logo. That's the problem. The other problem here is LeBron rotates over. Vando doesn't do a very good job here. Vando doesn't have the awareness. So if the low man is going to help, this guy needs to help the helper and crack down. This is Draymond Green in the corner. This is Andrew Wiggins. This is the guy you need to be worried about defending. Vando's not aware. Vando's late. He was poor defensively in that play. Okay. Same idea here. Higher, not quite as high, but higher ball screen. Again, Reaves is trying to go over. AD's there. And look, AD starts to leave. AD's looking to leave. He wants Reaves to recover. AD's getting out of there. We see, look at LeBron. LeBron's man's here. He's rotating over to tag the roll man, and then he looks to recover. Vando is just kind of staying home, staying in the way. D'Lo stays home. And Steph just with a nifty pass that AD tries to swipe at. If AD just recovers instead of trying to swipe at this, I think he's in a better position to contest. This is just a really solid finish here from Payton. But again, on shooter. If LeBron sticks and just stays here until AD's fully recovered and then recovers, you might be in a better position. So whenever there are two non-shooters on the court, sag off one of them, right? Absolutely sag off one of them. If a Draymond Green open corner three is the result of every Golden State possession, defensively you're doing a good job. So thus far, it's not necessarily the coverage that's beating the Lakers. It's not the high drop. It's not like switch here, exactly the same situation. If you switch here, then you're actually worse off because Peyton's rolling in and he's got much more space on the Reaves. And this pass is going to be here again. And look at this step back from Steph. That step back right there makes Reaves come this way instead of this way. And that allows Steph, this is the manipulation, the IQ from him to keep Reaves on his back. And then Peyton just gets away with it scoring at the rim. So we've only watched 3 minutes of basketball, but we're already seeing how the angles and the positioning of some of these screens are really problematic for the Lakers. Here, running in transition, it is 5-on-4. Klay Thompson has a layup for Draymond Green or gets it to Draymond, and then Wiggins is open. Instead, he's going to pull a hard three, no good. The two closest guys to the ball are Warriors players. That's problematic. Braun tips the ball out, assuming, hey, if all I'm seeing is blue, there has to be gold out here. Wasn't available. And again, we're scramble drill. LA gets away with it, thankfully, but watch AD and Vando both go with the same guy. We see Steph pointing right at him. Or miscommunication. So again, picking up level with the logo, high ball screen tries to go over. This is going to be problematic. And then what makes this even better for Golden State? And again, this could be high drop, this could be a hedge, this could be a switch. You've got the same problem. Draymond's rolling. There's no one here. This is an empty roll. Vando's up here on Peyton. He's not going to be able to go defend the rim. So if LeBron does rotate over, we've got Wiggins and Steph Curry. So I have a feeling the help may not come. Lob goes over LeBron's head. Reaves is staying home on Steph, understandable. Vando's in no man's land. And the Lakers here, they do switch. This is a switch. I saw some people on Twitter talking about, the Lakers decided to switch the last 2 minutes of the game. What were you watching? The Lakers mixed some switching in throughout. We've seen high drop and we've seen switching from the Lakers in the first 4 minutes of the game. Both of them have resulted in the same looks. Here we actually do see step up ball screen with a push. Reaves kind of forced to go over. 80 blows contain. Vando, thank God, Vando actually cracks down on the roll man and leaves Draymond alone. So the ball finds its way to Draymond. He's not looking to score, gets it back to Steph, and you get away with it. So Steph blowing the contain here isn't all that bad because AD's right there. AD's going to be able to contest shots at the rim pretty heavily. That's not the part that really worries me. It's that now we've got two guys on Steph too, also, or like currently. Vando does the right thing. He rotates down. If he doesn't rotate down, Braun may rotate over to take Peyton away, but if that happens, Wiggins might be open in the corner. So LA ends up with a decent result, all things considered here. But again, we're seeing the ball screens generate advantages. And it's not AD's fault. It's not Reaves' fault. It's not D'Lo's fault. But look, again, super high. Reaves going over. Peyton getting nice and intimate. Look at this angle. Look at this lunge. And now he's got the roll lane. Here we actually do see Vando rotate over. And you're fine. There's two non-shooters on the court. Rotate off one to take care of the other. Steph has nothing here. Steph cannot drive to the rim. He cannot shoot. If he is indecisive, AD will be able to recover. So he has to get it out, and Vando's able to rotate over. So as long as you're able to have two non-shooters on the court and rotate one guy, to defend the rim, you're not in a bad spot as long as you're still like top blocking, We're seeing the same looks here from Golden State. Here we get transition. Open three. Lakers get away with one. Great look for Golden State. Here, again, Austin picking Steph up at a distance that if Steph Curry's going to hit 3 shots from here wide open in a game, it'd be absolutely incredible. He's not going to kill you with shots like this. And again, if Reaves just goes under, let's say you're going to switch. If Reaves goes under, boop, the roll man's gone. If Reaves is going over and then trying to switch, he's chasing. So whether you're switching or you're in high drop, as long as you're all the way out here, you don't need to go over. You really don't need to go over, especially with so many of the screens leaning this way. Just go under. You're going to recover to Steph quicker. You're going to allow the big man to recover quicker. This is the way to go. These are simple adjustments. These adjustments are easy. I think Ellie's going to see these adjustments. Let me turn off the... So again, somehow we end up with 3 guys in this action. What is going on? What the hell is this? Okay, so Draymond, AD's on Draymond, Reaves is on Steph. What in the world is D'Lo doing? What are you doing, D'Lo? Oh, I get it. No, I don't get it. This is the play where, this is the one where Gary Payton walks away. So D'Lo had Payton, so he's like, I might as well be over here. Or was Vando? No, Vando's probably on Wiggins. So what is Vando doing? Either D'Lo or Vando is wrong. Let's see who ends up. Who is Payton's guy? Okay, we just made a sub, so we won't know. Back, I'm not gonna go back. All right, Chase Rui playing Chaser defense against Clay is going to be a problem. Again, get just 2 guys on Clay, wide open 3. Great shot. I don't know why people were calling for a DiVincenzo foul here. He's going for the ball. He gets the ball. So we've seen Golden State brick several really good 3-point attempts. Blow by, relocation, Dennis falls asleep. Wide open 3. 3 wide open 3s here. So high ball screen, not quite as high. Oh yeah, sorry. This is me controlling. Like there may be times where it gets a little laggy. I'm, grabbing this straight off Synergy. I'm not downloading the clips, but yeah, if you see it jumping around, that's me controlling it. But here, because the screen is set a little bit lower, it's also, by the way, Jordan Poole and Jermichael Green. So he's popping. Reaves is into stunt. Recover to DiVincenzo. That's fine. I'm fine with that. This is the look. It's a decently contested look. So what do we have here? We've got a 4-on-4. Well, not really, because Reaves is even. Lots of guys pointing. Reaves is pointing this way. Rui's pointing back there. D'Lo's got ball. Good. It's good to stop ball. Dennis sees Poole looking over here and lets DiVincenzo get behind him. Good eye manipulation. I bet you if Poole's staring at DiVincenzo, Schroeder sticks with him. JaMychal Green, open, uncontested three. No good. Look at all these great shots Golden State's getting. But here's a play. This is an interesting concept. The Lakers don't run this. We've seen Memphis and Golden State run this 2 series in a row. Double drag. But this guy is just cutting right underneath. He's not really screening. He's just kind of slipping underneath. And so his man is going to vacate. And so what we're going to see is that may open up driving lanes. Let's check out what happens. I genuinely don't remember most of these plays. Okay, so he slips under. Nice shot by Dennis. Look at Dennis kind of like turn his hips just a little to stay attached, gets a good angle. This allows Wendy to stay home, D'Lo to stay home. Good contest. Good shot. So I've heard that be called, you can call it double drag ghost, that makes sense. Double drag shallow is, apparently that's called shallow action. I'm still learning new things all the time. Again, double drag shallow. This time, the Lakers switch it. Look at, so D'Lo initially is guarding Clay. Look, D'Lo pointing to Dennis. You take Clay. I got Poole. So Schroeder peels off. This allows the whole time for Wendy to stay home on his man. Nothing. There's nothing there. So the Lakers have this scouted well. Nice swim move. I like this swim move by Clay. This was a move that I would use a lot to get post-ups. Just the smart hand fighting stuff. Really important. If I were coaching a team that was heavily off-screen shooting reliant, I would want my guy, like, you know how teams will bring in, like, you know, the Navy SEALs, different things to train different things. I would want to bring in like a pass rushing specialist, or you know what, or even more like maybe a wide receiver coach. That's probably even better. Like, how do you beat a jam at the line of scrimmage? That's how you've got to win the hand fighting battles, because we go from Dennis in great position to one swim move later, Dennis in the dust. Beautiful, really smart pass here from Klay Thompson against Wendy Gabriel. Great opportunity. And then right here, Lonnie just beats Wendy on the jump. All right, so we got ball screen, cover two, nothing going on. And another interesting element of this game, the Lakers, well, I'll say the Warriors, when we look at their lineup map, they very heavily relied on their starting lineup each quarter for big portions of the game. And then they played really heavy bench lineups. LA did a bit more staggering. The Warriors went like hockey lineups almost. And it resulted in a much higher percentage of their minutes having their full starting five on the court. But then it also resulted in lineups that had like 4 bench guys altogether. Here, that's a hedge and recover. This is a hedge and recover on Klay Thompson. And D'Lo's in place. D'Lo lets this guy go away. Bron and D'Lo are kind of zoning this up. And then as Wendy recovers, D'Lo recovers. So great timing there. How about those box outs too? Both guys boxing out. Anytime the ball can bounce on the ground less than a foot from guys because they're boxing out, it makes Tim really happy. What do I think about pre-switching? Yeah, pre-switching is something I drew up think it was either at halftime or during a TV timeout yesterday. I like the idea of pre-switching. Depending on how the team is getting into their ball screens, you may or may not be able to do it. With as many of Golden State's screens being like super early, they're not necessarily like setting up and then running someone from the block up to set a screen. It's a bit harder to do. Okay, so again here, not quite as high a ball screen. We've got Dennis going over, gets around pretty well. Jordan pull up, no good. As soon as we see him shoot, look at what is wrong with. I'm not going to say her name, or she'll pop up again. But you guys keep seeing SIRI here to ruin my day. The second he pulls, Wenyan says, "All right, I can't contest. I got to go put a body on them." I love that. Shout out Wendy Gabriel. Those are the little tiny things that make a difference. Okay, so here, ram, touch into the, another down screen into the touch. Interesting setup. AD and Rui are confused here as to who should be doing what. Or maybe, is AD thinking there's going to be a switch there? I'm not sure what's going on that play. Lonnie does a pretty good job. Wasn't the best screen navigation, but he got a good ball back contest. I'll get Sean Davis up on the stage with me. Hey, Sean, how you doing?
What's going on, everybody? How we doing? How you doing, Sam?
I just breaking down Golden State offensive film. We're late first quarter. I don't know how much you've seen, but I think we're learning some things about what worked and what didn't work against that Golden State pick and roll offense. So that makes me.
What have you seen so far?
So we've seen a lot of plays where, hopefully I can get to a good example. This is just transition, bucket at the rim. I feel like we got to see it here. Okay, so and here we finally see LA maybe adjust a little bit. We saw a lot of plays that look like this, Sean, where we've got Steph Curry picked up like kind of the tip of the Laker logo or up. He's somewhere in this area, and he's being guarded like somebody's very much on ball. We're seeing a lot of ball screens, Steph attacking this way, and regardless of if the Lakers are switching, in high drop, hedging, trapping, doesn't matter. With this guy so often chasing over, especially with Golden State, getting a little extra lean in there and then rolling, AD's in a really tough spot because he's not going to go all the way out here. He's doing a good job staying at the three-point line to contest, reasonable threes. He's not going to contest these crazy threes. But what we've seen a lot of is Steph able to attack with the roll man having like this big lane here that he's rolling into and able to catch the ball, with AD kind of stuck here for a moment because if he leaves too early, it's just an open three for Steph, and that's no good. And with this guy trailing over the top, he's kind of out of the play. What I asked to see a couple of minutes ago was I said it would be much smarter if the Lakers either didn't pick up this high or if they were going to go under the screen. There's no reason to go over screen here, right? And for the first like 5 or 6 plays of the game, we saw the Lakers switch. We saw the Lakers high drop. We've seen the Lakers hedge so far with Wenyan. He did a pretty good job. It hasn't mattered because really no matter what coverage you're in, you still end up with that roll man with the inside position either on his new defender or with AD not able to contain him, and it creates bad situations. So here we see Dennis threaten to go under. I don't know why he went back though. I guess because Looney kind of backs into him. I would have liked him to kind of seal this off a bit more.
Yeah, I'm in agreement there. And then weak side, who is that? Rui that commit?
Nah, we've got so Rui stunts. LeBron rotates over, And then because Rui's something and LeBron's rotating over, there's nobody to rotate back to the corner.
Yeah.
We've seen a lot. That one goes in. Golden State to this point, just the first quarter, has missed 4 really, really good opportunities for threes. The other thing I called out was how with Golden State playing so many lineups with Steph on the court that also have 2 non-shooters on the court with him, I would love for much more aggressive helping off of the second non-shooter, because usually one of them's in the ball screening action, and then that second one and it was usually Vando. Vando needs to just leave his dude alone. I don't care where his dude's standing. Go defend the rim. Go take away the roll. And we saw that result on a couple plays with the Lakers able to stop the action. But they're looking at the rotation map for Golden State. With them playing their starters so heavily, they had Draymond and Peyton on the court together a lot. And then there were portions of time, I guess they never had Draymond and Lonnie in together. Or if they did, it was very, very minimal. But the Draymond plus Peyton minutes were huge in this game and absolutely something that you could take advantage of as the defense just by being less conventional, scouting it a bit better, and just leaving it alone. Here we see ball screen into the veer action. Dennis does a good job top blocking. 80's in position to take away the back cut. Nothing going on. DiVincenzo pull 3, no good. Okay, so that'll get us through the first.
That's a win of a possession if you're a Lakers.
Mm-hmm.
You take that.
Absolutely. Here's I'm not going to go through the whole first quarter again, but here's one of those plays at the logo, trying to chase over. Look at the little lean there from Peyton. Steph's doing a good job attacking laterally and taking 80 over, and then you've got this huge window right here for the roll man. And this time, he just flubs it. He had a great opportunity here. If he actually just attacks the rim and then kicks out, or just attacks the rim for a layup, Golden State scores here. But that is what I was talking about, where like, if right here, you try to, I think you can do a couple things. Ideally, you're able to go under this. Because then even if you are switching, you have that inside position on the roll man. So if you're going to roll off of it one way, don't roll off of it this way. Go underneath. I guess is my ask. So that's Q1. Getting a 2Q. Q2. Sean, I don't know if you've made it for any of my post-game video streams. Oh, this is taking a little bit. They're all very relaxed.
I've wanted to, but, we're all really freaking busy post-game.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. It's all been very, very calm, regardless of a win or a loss. Just like, what did we see? What were they cooking? I don't know what's going on here. Come on, Synergy. There we go.
I do appreciate that, though. Like, when you can, again, as a coach at least, I can appreciate it for sure. From, okay, instead of overreacting, let's go solve the problem instead of, complaining to each other for 3.5 hours.
Yeah, because, if you ask me to immediately react to the game, I'm going to be operating with a lot of information, but not all the information. And if I just take the hour or two to actually go through the film, I will have all of the information. And then I can give you I can give you the right answer or the right analysis instead of based on what I think happened, here's what I liked and what I didn't like. Because that's incomplete. So here we see a deeper screen, 80 in position, Steph gets the ball out quickly. Again, just because Peyton's not a lob threat, so this is fine. Good shape. Oh, man. What the hell? And this is, again, just Dennis getting beat. Reaves isn't in much of a stance here. He's kind of straight up. Yeah, not even much of a move, just a little hezzy. And he's got Reaves on his back pocket immediately. I like Lonnie trying to help there. Not loving that. There's no scheme there. Oh my god, what is this? No! Why are you picking stuff up across half court like that? Ah.
I think I brought this up post game too. Like, no need to pick him up. Like I get that you want to be physical with him, but no, I think what I said post game too was don't deny him on the inbound.
Yeah.
And don't pick him up full. Honestly, yeah, don't pick him up full court either. Just let him get past half, and then you pick him up from there. Because then, yeah, like you said, you get out of position, and possessions like this happen.
Mm-hmm. And because you've got Klay Thompson here, Reaves doesn't. High tag. LeBron does rotate over. Well, tries to a little late. Tries to rotate over. 80 guarding the non-shooter strong side corner doesn't really make any attempt to get over, and that's too easy. Just get ahead. All right. So what do we see here? Oh, we see a 5v4. Okay, I was like, how is Lonnie getting beat like that? Oh, that's because he's defending two players. I think that was the play where AD missed at the rim.
Yeah, he missed at the
Right back the
rim,
other way.
no foul call, and he's like way out of bounds. So yeah.
Mm-hmm. So here, this is, people talking about the ball screen defense. There are two guys here that go with Klay Thompson. Between Reaves and Lonnie, this is the breakdown. This is not the breakdown. This is the breakdown. We actually see Dennis do, for going over, he does a pretty decent job of, no, I guess it was on the pass. I mean, he does beat Peyton at the rim, but yeah, that's off-ball screen defense is the issue there. And it wasn't even that, like, AD was sagging off to defend the rim and that took him out of position. No, it was two guards making a mistake. Step up screen. So look at this. I believe this is a double dribble. Right here. Steph has two hands on the ball.
Yeah, he picks it up. Yeah, that's a double.
And that's why AD jumps. Because I remember live being like, wow, did AD hedge there? What is he doing? This is a double dribble. Here, let's watch it in half speed. I mean, it's a filthy move, but I'm pretty sure he got that second hand on the ball, and then he blows the layup anyway. Okay, so ball screen. Again, Peyton with a little push off, Dennis going over. He's in a decent spot to recover, though. But AD, unlike AD previously, where he was like, his feet were more. Oh, I'm using the wrong side.
Siri really wants to have a conversation with you.
I need to find a way to turn it off. She keeps trying to. And it just started yesterday. I've been fine doing this forever, and then all of a sudden yesterday it's doing it. We saw so many plays where AD's feet were kind of angled, and then he'd retreat. Here he's like completely squared up to Steph. And it's on an empty side. So there's nobody here to tag the roll man. We see Reaves kind of start and then stop going and then start again. That's just too easy. I liked Dennis's screen navigation, and I think it's a deep enough screen that you probably don't go under. But this is one where AD's got to just stay. He's got to stay the lowest man. Again, we've got two non-shooters on court. This is where Lonnie Walker, who, well, I'm not sure if Lonnie or LeBron or on Draymond, whoever's guarding Draymond needs to aggressively be leaving him to send that help. And then neither of them rotate over to help the helper either. So LeBron and Lonnie did not do a very good job on this play. Because in theory, Reaves is there in place, in position. Get out of here. And we've got two guys guarding. Help the helper. Hallway. for all the attention the Steph ball screens got during the game, it's not that the coverage wasn't working, from my perspective, at least so far with what we've watched. It's more that the way they're defending within it hasn't been good. Here, we see high ball screen at the tip of the logo. Reaves tries to go over instead of under. LeBron's at the three-point line, and there's this big window for Draymond to roll in. AD rotates over. Peyton cuts behind him. Does Walker rotate down? He does.
Yeah.
There you go.
Actually muted. On that play, when the lob probably occurs, or when the lob occurs right now, if I'm Austin, you got, like you said, kind of helped up. Or if Lonnie, the terminology I use for our team's like smash down on the cutter. When Lonnie smashes down, if I'm Austin, if I'm the coaching staff, I'm telling Austin to relocate out, because Draymond could also hypothetically just whip that thing out to Wiggins, and that's an open three. So you relocate out on Wiggins, and then right now, I mean, was it Lonnie on GP2, Braun with, half the possession left on step at the top? I don't know. How do you feel about that, Sam?
So AD is rotating down. He's going to tag the roll man. I want Lonnie sinking in, and then I guess the terminology I've used is then I want the next perimeter guy, which would be LeBron, filling and zoning up. I want LeBron like right here, zoning up these two players is what I'd be looking for. But I think what you described, where Reaves just kind of
more of a scram switch,
just leaves the play. That would be more of a scram switch. That works. I think those are two distinct rotation patterns, and both of them have viability. Both of them have strengths and weaknesses. If anything, if you're going to leave a guy open, I know Steph's not the guy you want to leave open, but the pass from here back is much harder to see and make than this pass or this pass.
Yeah.
So that's, I guess, another factor to consider. Like at the high school or college levels, I'm totally fine just bumping down, and being on this guy's back and saying, Austin, your job is to not let this man pass over you. That's all you need to do. And we're going to leave this guy open.
Oh, yeah. Like, if I'm running this with my team, I'm doing what you just said, where it's LeBron zones up, LeBron has two, and LeBron takes the first pass, and then you just rotate out. You just got to be ready to help each other, help the helper. But at the NBA level, you could do the scram switch, or you could do the bump, and how you explained it. But yeah, like what you're drawing them now is probably what I would have done with like my high school team. But I think there's a bunch of different ways you could have done it. But Lonnie does a good job, and it ends up in the Lakers' fast break, or should have been fast break.
So again here, super high at the tip of the logo, and it's still trying to go over. And Draymond does a nice job pass blocking. It's just moving to stay with him very overtly. This is fine. I'll stay with you. Here we do see them bring AD's man up to level of the screen, and it doesn't matter. Good contest. Deep three, off the dribble, good contest. I like that. And then on top of it, Dennis takes Peyton, and then Walker again rotates down. Not quite a hard box out, but they're moving to the right areas at least. Reaves stays in front. Lonnie staying in front. This is a midi, right, for Wiggins? And I think he misses it.
That was a turnover. Nope, it's the midi. You're right. The turnover
remember very random place.
Yeah, the turnover I'm thinking of was Wiggins on D'Lo, so wrong guard, if you will.
Someone where Draymond hits his head. Oh, is this the really nice out of bounds play that? No, I think it was it was a baseline out of bounds play. The what was it, like a downhill dribble handoff concept where LA drew the offensive foul, but it was a sick play. Let's see. Dennis playing on the high side of Steph. pushes him down the baseline or down the sideline. LeBron's there in time. D'Lo needs to rotate down, and then Reaves needs to help over. D'Lo's kind of trying to play two here, able to recover. Yeah, that's a good outcome for the defense.
I do like that. That's my biggest pet peeve with like either my personal team or just with basketball teams in real life. Like LeBron's guarding Draymond Green, right? The I guess
Mm-hmm.
silly thing to do would have been to follow Draymond Green all the way out to the corner where he's not effective, and LeBron stops near the restricted area, blows the play up temporarily at least, and it ends up in what, a GP2 3-pointer uncontested. I feel a lot better about that obviously than a wide open step layup, because if LeBron isn't right here, not even following Draymond to the corner, this is a wide open layup for Steph, and it won't be close. So
Yep. Yeah, just watch like LeBron right here is what you're talking about. He stops. Draymond keeps going. LeBron stops.
good stuff, Braun. And yeah, go ahead, GP. Good grief. I didn't think it was going to be that bad. I forgot about that.
So again here, Dennis is considering going under. Decent contest, long three, no good. I think thus far, the ball handler's defender and his technique, to me, in ball screen coverages has mattered a lot more than the screener defender. But here's LA switching. Golden State doesn't have big bodies in the action, so they're not really getting any slips or anything like that. Good rotate. Look at D'Lo, man. How about D'Lo? D'Lo rotates over.
I've been trying to be on my D'Lo's and underrated team defender train, and stuff like this keeps helping out my argument. Continues to help.
And nobody sees this though live. That's the problem with your argument, Sean, is nobody notices this rotation live. Everyone's just like, how did that guy get wide open?
Yeah.
Here we see LeBron on Clay trying to top block. Eventually he gets it. We get a switch. Good contest.
Shot, Clay.
Got shot.
I think he misses this one.
Oh, he hit him right in the hands. Oh, he hit him right in the hands. AD had like 4 of those this game where his hands were just not there. Oh, what did I say? Woo.
Well, what are you saying that's like triggering Siri?
I don't know. That's just going to be really difficult to guard. Poole again, just kind of playing truly some unethical basketball. Just looking for the foul. Oh, good there. So he flails the ball. It was interesting to see in this game Golden State go to periods of time where they try the same concept a couple times in a row. Like we saw some clustering of split cuts. We saw 2 plays in a row where they ran double drag shallow. We saw a cluster, well, more than a cluster of plays of those high step up, like middle ball screens. Here's a nice reject with Dennis taking a hard step towards half court. Steph just with a nice crossover. AD's a little bit further out than he normally is. And Steph just blew the layup.
Steph missed like 3 of these last night.
Mm-hmm. Rui's not in a good series for him defensively from a matchup standpoint. Ram. Look at LeBron. LeBron is just waiting for stuff thrown off the exit screen. That's all he's doing right here. That's smart scouting. Rui stays in front. Lakers switch the handoff, and now you've got a guard on a guard. I hated this play. This is the play where LeBron just slaps the ball and it goes right back to Steph. He throws it at LeBron James. He just taps it right back to him. Just an unfortunate play. Elo, no. Elo had that lined up as if he were a shot blocker and was just like waiting to block the shot, but then he tries to reach in after he gets beat. Good job by Lonnie. Good job by AD. Good rotation, good rotation. Defense recovers. Oof. Let's see. Rui, ball watching, gets, I'd say face cut, but yeah, I guess it's a face cut. Look at his quick pass. Nice quick pass. Right back to him, and the Lakers fell. That would have been 3 points.
I've gotten this question a lot, and I'm curious what you think. It's not necessarily revolving around Game 4, but which defense would you prefer, or do you think it was better, the championship 2020 defense or this one? I have my answer. I'm curious what you say.
I think that defense is better.
A championship
I think
one?
you had more rebounding, you had more size, you had the ability to play smaller, you could switch with the Keith and AD lineups. That team rotated really well with a lot of the like KCP and Caruso and Danny Green. Like those are all guys that rotate quite well. The individual perimeter defense they had with Caruso, really solid. They had some Deezer Chaser defense. Danny Green, really solid, like rotating secondary rim protector. I think that personnel, that roster was better off for me personally. But, and also I liked how, from a game planning standpoint, I really, really liked what that coaching staff was doing. There was a lot of icing and weaking and very specific. See, I'm not saying your name. Very specific stuff.
Bro says icing. It's serious, like, yes. Well.
So I guess that's what I'm thinking. But like this group's been pretty darn good too. I just think they're doing it with worse personnel, to be honest.
I agree. I think the biggest thing that sets me over the top with that 2020 team is, like you said, just the like scheme versatility, where like this team is awful at blitzing and hedging, which is another reason why I can't get over the fact that the halftime adjustment in Game 2 was let's hedge Steph Curry. That team in 2020, you could get really versatile. You could blitz a little bit. Like you said, you had a bunch of guys that could rotate and things of that nature. This year's team, and rightfully so, your defense is basically, can AD be the best defensive player in the NBA, which he has been, and rely on like solid play from your chasers and things of that nature. I don't know. That's kind of how I look at it. But I agree. All in all, that 2020 team, for a lot of the reasons you mentioned.
Yeah, that group was special. I like this group more offensively, schematically by a lot, and then
by a mile.
Yeah, and then from a personnel standpoint, I think you're in better shape. You have more guys that can, like Lonnie, Rui, just guys that can make something happen. Dennis, D'Lo, Reaves. You have so many more players. They're not only catch and shoot guys. They can actually attack a closeout, and I think that's a really nice element to have.
That championship team, if we had did a playbook draft for that team, it would have lasted 5 minutes. And I think we went like an hour and a half for the playbook draft we did this year. 15 minutes here, bang, bang, bang. No film's going to be shown because it's going to be depressing. And we'll get you guys out of there on time.
Yeah. It's so true. Here we see, all right, so high ball screen. Lonnie trying to go over. Look at D'Lo. D'Lo's already in position. LeBron's not helping down. So DiVincenzo's wide open here.
So if you're the coaching staff, are you telling Braun to basically drop and be able to see both, and then trust D'Lo can close out to Clay, or are you saying, or do you want D'Lo to drop a little bit further and have LeBron stay home on Clay? I think there's value to both, but I think there's obviously dangers to both because LeBron's kind of staying home. He stunts a little bit, but I get not wanting to leave Clay wide open, but at the same time, you have a baseline cut from DiVincenzo because D'Lo is a foot above the restricted area, and DiVincenzo gets a wide open layup. So I don't know. What do you think?
So I would take a page out of the Frank Vogel playbook. And I don't know if anyone recalls the Lakers Denver series where the Lakers were trying to soft hedge and they would soft hedge unless Denver really strung it out laterally to the point where trying to recover and leaving a guy open for that long didn't make sense. So if they strung it out too long, LA would just, in the moment, decide we're going to switch instead. With these ball screens, whenever Steph is kind of stringing it out and the roll man is the one ahead of him, I think it may make a little bit more sense to try to execute these rotations. But when Steph's beating the roll man, I think you just have to switch here and D'Lo just stay home. D'Lo stay home, LeBron stay home. If Lonnie can just get in front of Looney rolling, AD should be fine here. It's when Steph is dancing around on the perimeter and you just concede, you're giving up a switch with them like under control, still able to like pick from other options, that I think is more problematic. A switch of AD on Steph Curry in the paint is not a problem for me. A switch of AD on Steph Curry on the three-point line, we saw him do a heck of a job towards the end of this game, but a factor there is like Golden State, Steph's not, hasn't picked the ball up. It's not like he has to make something happen immediately. They can go decide to run something else. And he's more dangerous as a three-point shooter against a big out there. So I don't know if that's a realistic thing to ask from a rotating defense, but I would prefer for D'Lo just to stay home. If Steph were hanging out, trying to string AD along, and Lonnie's with him, and Looney's all alone, then yeah, you have to tag this roll man. But right now, what is the threat that D'Lo's stopping? And is it necessary? Because Looney's out of the play. This is like a Russell Westbrook, John Morant ball screen where the roll man's not in the play if they get going downhill. So I'll give that some more thought because I just thought of that right now, but trying to be a little bit more specific about when do we switch versus when do we high drop versus, and then like when are we helping very aggressively versus when are we staying a bit home? We're staying home a bit more. Here we do see the Lakers switch, but instead of LeBron going over and giving up the inside position, look, he grabs the roll man and then gets the inside position himself. So if you're going to switch, this is the way to do it. And then we see two box outs. And Steph makes this shot. A pull up, long three. I'm fine with that process. There's a couple times here that Steph has. Look, AD's facing the sideline.
Thing or just the pure threat, and then combine the fact he had 30. Like, bro, plays like this shouldn't happen. You have LeBron James and Anthony Davis. AD, like you said, his. No,
why is this the matchup?
Well, yeah, that's
what's happening here? What's happening here?
That's another. Who's on the floor? Lonnie, D'Lo,
So
Rui.
D'Lo on
So
DiVincenzo, Rui on I think that's Moody, Lonnie's on Clay.
why is this a line?
We saw in the prior play. If you're
Yeah,
going to actually try to chase over screens with LeBron,
best $5 in the biz. Uh, I don't have it pulled up in front of me, but I would have to imagine LeBron's chaser on ball, or just on ball screen navigation is not graded out very highly by you guys.
oh, it's not. It absolutely is not.
Doesn't take a genius to figure that one out.
Look at the screen navigation by Dennis, though. Does a good job getting skinny, getting around. But yet again, Steph, he's so crafty. With like right here, it looks like Dennis is about to recover, but Steph just puts a little hezzy, and that allows him tops. And then when the ball handler gets to be the one to say go, it's harder to stick with him. And then a great pass, good finish. 80's there. 80's there. D'Lo takes a step towards Lonnie, then stays home. Dennis should have had that one. But another thing about that play was we saw. I'll go back to it. We're almost done with this half. Helping, he's leaving this guy open. And if you're helping from over here on the, the strong side is what it becomes, is a much easier pass. Or like Lonnie can't play both these guys being, this far from the ball handler. If the ball's over here and we're talking about two guys over here, it's a further pass and you can more realistically zone up. So that's another factor for if we're looking for ideas for how the Lakers can do a better job. Jump out this way, Lonnie, or Dennis, jump away and force Steph to drive this way so that the roll goes here where you do have two defenders. Another thing that icing or weakening ball screens can be really smart with. So Lakers switch. Dennis, good job. Look at him. Goes on immediately. His job here on the switch is have the screener and get underneath him. Reaves does a good job staying in front. Good pin in flare screen here by Draymond. Steph actually took his time getting that ball out. If the ball's out right now, this is a much easier
shot. Yeah. And then tip out. Low surprise Steph didn't shoot that one. Dude, that's the third missed layup and a half by Steph. Somebody rigged the Lakers rim. Oh no, this is the charge.
This was a little harder. This one would be a little bit harder.
Yeah, and I forgot this was the block. I hated this challenge by Darvin personally. I didn't like this challenge. I don't know.
Same.
Yeah.
I think that's it for the quarter. I think no, 12 free throws. Yeah. All right, so that's the first defense. An hour to go through a half of one side of basketball.
Bro, literally, like in prep for the series, I didn't even get to talk about the Warriors defense because we spent 2.5 hours just talking about their offense.
I've been doing if I'm doing a film review, it's been like one side of the ball after the game because I just don't have the time. Now, if it's just me and I'm going through the film by myself, I can get through it a lot quicker. But when we're drawing stuff up, diagramming things, it takes a bit longer. This is also why you're never going to see me. I mean, unless I just somehow get more time in the day, I won't be logging both offense and defense. Logging time to log defense. Vando's going to recover, but he gives up this inside position. Again, with the screen being at the logo, I would just have Vando go under this.
You're better off honestly just switching it at that point, especially if you're going to go with, like you said, how good of the angle. Is that Wiggins or is that Dre? That's Wiggs.
Yeah, it's Wiggins. If you switch this and Vando gets underneath, the action's done. But then the issue then becomes there's 16 on the clock. You have a mismatch. You go throw, go run other action, and you might be able to create some good stuff. Or if the switch isn't done soundly and Vando does try to lots of flyby defense here. Let's see. Reaves with a box out.
Steph missed some looks that you're like this shot right here, watching it live, I definitely thought that was going in.
It's deep, but not crazy deep. It's within his range for sure, and hand down. Yeah, no, I this was one that felt like it was going to be going in.
Clay had a bunch of those bad shots last night. Like, even as like a Lakers analyst or whatever, when watching the tape, like from the first half, because my rewatch only got through the first half. Even some of the ones in the first, I'm like, bro, I would have. If I'm Steve Kerr, I'm livid, but and that's as a Laker fan. But some of those you got to live with, I guess. But like, obviously, we'll get to it. I'm sure the one where he shoots it from the parking lot with the game on the line. No rhythm, but sure. Go hoop, Clay.
And what's going on here? This is the offense.
Thank you, Warriors. Like early shot clock, AD gets a contest, and you get a contest from the back as well. Back pressure. Oh yeah, take it.
Draymond. There he is. He's in position. This is not. D'Lo does a good job getting his hands out. This isn't open. Payton isn't a good option here, and even if he were cutting, 80's in a decent spot to be able to rotate over. So this is not a problem to me. And you get the help against a non-lob threat. So you're in a decent spot. And I don't worry about giving up matchups on Draymond and Clay all that much. Steph getting a matchup, I think, is more problematic. Transition, bucket. Transition, bucket.
How sustainable do you think the switching is going forward? Like, is that what your primary coverage would be heading into Game 5, or are you still sticking with the high drop and you just make the adjustment on the fly?
I would like to see the team give the high drop a chance with going under the super, super high ball screens and more active help rotations, especially because, I mean, I love to see what Golden State does lineup-wise, but if they start two non-shooters again, I'm not as worried about those short rolls. Like, if you're going to go under them and try to take away the immediate pass on your way to recovering to Steph, that just makes the pass have to be deeper, and that's where the defense will be. Like, I'll point it out the next play we get.
Yeah, for sure. One of the things I talked about in terms of like running your high drop that the Lakers could do is, like, let's say you got high balls. I'll talk on next one. This is something I am a little concerned about with Wiggins. When AD was matched up with Wiggins, and an adjustment, I said, if I'm Golden State and AD wants to keep guarding Wiggins, just go split cut game. Have Wiggins be the first screener. You slip that, or go like their gag or Diablo action, and basically have Wiggins be that first screener because now AD's out of the play. And I think from what I saw live, at least, the guy didn't finish my second half rewatch. So, yeah, wait, who's Austin guards? GP2? Is that who he's guarding?
Yeah.
So, like, if it's split cut game, honestly, it's like, hold on, play this a sec. Ball goes in right here. Austin just comes over way too late. Like, Austin needs to be all the way loaded over. Like, damn, they're 2 feet in the paint. If you get a 3 second, you get 3 second. Pass the GP2. Rim, because if Austin's all the way preloaded at the rim, if Steph gets this, his only option is a top wraparound, likely right-handed pass through 3 players, because he has Dennis on his backside, LeBron guarding him, LeBron guarding Dre, and then Austin already at the rim. So the Lakers continue to do this. Again, if I'm Steve Kerr, that's one of my last resorts, because I personally think it's checkmate. But because from a tactical standpoint, there's not a ton I see that Golden State can do going forward to win 3 straight games, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's really tough to win 3 straight. Yeah, I would love to see, if this is going to be Reaves here, like, I want him 2.9ing. I want him under the rim and then running out and then running right back in the whole time here. I would love just, though, to see AD on Payton and AD be the guy in this position, because if AD is Reaves right now, Steph has nothing. AD's going to be able to take care of that.
Yeah, absolutely. All in all, I think the Lakers, outside of that stuff, they really have done a good job at guarding split cut action, where in the first round, I don't think they were that. This time, Gary Payton's
second. There's nice help by Reaves here, because Steph kind of discards Schroeder. So Reaves is there, helping off of Peyton. Steph's not available. Get it to the open guy. Just looking to recover. For all of the really good open mysteries they had in the first half, in the second half they hit some tough ones. Ooh. There. Position. Yep, go into the screen. Hit the little watch D'Lo just hunch over here and like get low and get around. And then the rear view contest. He's contesting like he's trying to contest the eyes more than like try to block the shot.
How would you rank like the top 3 chasers off ball throughout this series? In your opinion?
I think Dennis has done a really good job. I mean, D'Lo's done a pretty darn good job too. Reaves has been good. Vando's been bad. Rui's been bad. LeBron's been bad. Lonnie's done a pretty good job.
Troy in game
Brown,
bad.
yeah, he wasn't. He was shooting the gap too much, which to me that's a fixable thing.
Yeah.
And there were also a bunch of plays where, like, the setup would be like, I don't know what number I just drew there. There were plays like this where they would say like Troy wrote like navigate around like this screen and then also this screen, and he just couldn't do it. When actually this was more like 3, 5, 1 or something like that, or maybe nah. Hang on, it looked more like this. And I would have just liked to see as this guy's going over here, one's man, it's a guard screen. Bump the cutter or just switch this. And we saw this action, this like floppy type look where he's got multiple options. You can't top lock both of them. If you're here, we'll go this way. If you're over here, we'll go this way. And with the multiple screens, even on this side, if it's guard or wing, bump the cutter or switch. Especially if AD's on a non-shooter and he's just hanging out in the rim. With those deep screens, I'm not worried about slips beating me. So I'm happy to switch if we've got like-sized players. That's something we saw the Lakers clean up in game 2, and then we haven't really seen that action again. It just so happened that they cleaned Troy out of the series. So I felt like he could have done better, but I agree with you that he did not perform well in the first game.
Yeah.
But to me, it was more in fixable ways.
No, I get it.
Do you have a top 3 from a chaser defense standpoint? I guess if I had to pick 3, I'd say Schroeder, Austin, and I don't know. I think D'Lo's done a pretty darn good job.
I was going to personally go Lonnie, Austin, Dennis. D'Lo, like you said, those also done a really good job. I think it's like 3 of those 4 for sure. Because Vando kind of showed you why I didn't. I wasn't the biggest fan of starting him in the series personally. And then Troy, that game 1, like you said, more fixable mistakes, but still didn't do the best of jobs. Braun, no. And Rui, no. So.
Yeah, Lonnie's a good call out. He's done well defensively. His chaser defense has been solid. Lots of good top blocking. Poole again, wildly flailing about. You know, when you get the fish out of water, it doesn't look good.
I really think Jordan Poole being unplayable is the downfall of this series from Golden State standpoint. Because, like, technically, in a perfect world, like everybody's saying, the adjustment or whatever was okay. We're gonna go Jordan Poole in the starting five. Bro can't play right now, right? But if he was playable, then that's another legitimate floor spacer and another legitimate ball. Like, you insert Jordan Poole from last year's playoffs into this series, and the series outlook is completely different. And some of the things from a tactical standpoint the Lakers have done, I'm not sure they have as much success if Jordan Poole was playing or how even playable. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, Jordan Poole was a much better player last year than he was this year. This year, he's playing more like he did 2 years ago from a shooting standpoint. And
You said Jordan Poole in Siri Pops.
Jordan Poole is. Huh? What did you just?
No. I was just saying that you had said Jordan Poole and Siri for some reason showed up. Sorry, my bad.
Oh, yeah. I don't. She's just really bored, I guess. Um, yeah, he's not playing well. If he were, he would be much more impactful this series. I do think with how the Lakers have defended a lot of the off-screen stuff, LA would be in a decent spot if they tried to play more lineups with Poole. Like defensively, he's not very good, but yeah, just offensively, he doesn't have the impact that he used to. So that's really helpful for the team. I saw someone ask in the chat, who's the best? Yeah, Reggie asks, who is the best chaser in the NBA? I'll give you the top guys that we have in our B-ball index metric this season. They are John Conchar, Alex Caruso, Dylan Brooks, Gary Harris, Ayo Dosunmu, Lou Dort, Isaac Okoro, Josh Okogie, Andrew Nemhard, and Wes Matthews.
AC, baby.
AC is interesting because he's so good at this. He's so good at. I said AC, and they thought I said there. Yep. He's so good with the ball screen. Like, not too many guys are. You might be really good at on-ball defense and then like struggle to navigate screens, or you might be really good as a chaser, but not be good at on-ball defense or on-ball screen navigation because they're different skills. So it's really, really valuable that Caruso can do all of those things at the level that he does.
Yeah.
All right, back to the action. Here we see the screens to go this way. Lakers are pushing away. That means that if Looney's going to roll, he's going to roll on the double side, which we like. Rui's in position. We get a high tag from Lonnie. And Lonnie's able to recover. Nothing going on. This is why, and I don't even know that this was the most purposeful of things. Yeah, I guess it was. Weakening these high ball screens and pushing Steph. I mean, and it's not necessarily. I think would be really helpful. But anytime they are playing slower like this, I would love to see LA go to that look. Because it's also much easier for Dennis in this situation. He's right next to Steph. He's going to be able to recover more easily. So as Rui, you don't have to worry about leaving Steph alone. It's not like Dennis is like 2 feet behind the play. He's right there. Dennis with a good top lock. Lonnie on ball, concedes some space, but stays in front, gets a contest up. Not box out. And it's blown by. Is up. Woo! What a pass. pass. Oh my lord.
You would have had the scram switch if Dennis doesn't. I mean, technically, you still did when Austin steps up, then Dennis smashes down, but he takes his foot off the gas pedal right here and just,
Yeah.
yeah. But good job by Austin at least forcing the pass up. And if Dennis is ready to guard, I'm fairly confident that layup isn't there.
Mm-hmm. Something you could look to do if you're the Lakers is if you are going to have like a guard be this low man, if he's rotating over on the drive, like have it be in the scheme for this dude to just sprint out to the corner and take his man, rather than like hang out and then try to get out there. That could be. I mean, there are a lot of different ways you could play defense, but more peel off switching, I guess, is what that would be, or not peel off switching. Yeah, no, peel off. Yeah, peel off switching.
Peel. You're right. You're right.
Good job here by Dennis, staying with the roll man. Again, LeBron staying with the roll man.
I like this. I literally, somebody on Twitter clipped this out. It's almost like, Michigan State's like horns twist set.
Yeah.
It reminds me a lot of that. Somebody clipped this out and posted them, and I sent it to our head coach. I kind of want to add it because we have two really dynamic guards this year, but it sucks. I mean, how would you even guard it? Dennis just has to be the low man because you're driving towards. Wait, did they set an exit screen there? Because if you set an exit screen there,
you set an exit screen here, you're screwed. Defense is screwed.
I mean, yeah, you're screwed. I mean, maybe Dennis just has to go earlier because Dennis starts off the possession, right? Yeah, Dennis has to basically load up now. So, like, Moses Moody clears up. You switch that. Okay. Right now, I'm telling Dennis to stop. Just stay right there and be ready to step up, take a charge, or step up and contest. I don't know. I feel like
he does, though, doesn't he? He stops.
Is it too late, though? Like, what I mean by, like, step up, like, right. I'm already there. I'm forcing Steph to pass it out.
Like, but right now, Rui's in front right now. I get it, though.
Nasty move on him, though.
Yeah, I get it. No, I get. So, I'll say this: he didn't do the wrong thing in the play because at this point, Rui's in front. To your point, though, that's not what you're saying. You're saying you would have him more aggressively be over, even when it looks like you're containing pretty well.
Yeah, that's nasty though. And then, like you said, you add an exit screen to that. Thank you for putting that idea in my head. I'm gonna credit you when we win a championship because of it.
Sean, let's talk this offseason. let's talk playbook. I want to make sure that your offense is the most fun plays imaginable.
For sure.
You want to go back?
No, we're good. We're good.
I am not watching the Laker offense after this. I gotta go to bed in a little bit. So if you want to take over and bring this back over to Lakers Nation stream, y'all can do that. I'll take a look at the offense tomorrow. Good box out by Rui. He creates space so well, but still Austin did a decent job contesting there. There we go. This is what I wanted to see. Yes. Rolled under it. Even though the angles are, and Braun just loses the contain. I feel like this happened twice today. Each time that the ball handler defender did exactly what I was looking for, the big man got absolutely crushed in the play. And so I can't like clip it and be like, this is what I want to see. All right, through 3 quarters. 1 to go.
Fourth quarter time.
So to this point, we've seen some high drop. We've seen some switching. We've seen. I mean, we saw a Wenyan hedge switch, but it's empty side. So LeBron rotates well. He's vertical. Peyton stinks in the short roll and turnover. He had like 3 short roll turnovers this game, I think. I'd have to go look again. But this is not high drop. This is a switch. But because of the angle, look, Peyton has the inside position and it's on an empty side. So he's going to be in a great spot here. You have to aggressively rotate over and then rotate behind it. But we're now seeing, like, the only guy who can't shoot is the one that's rolling to the rim. Oh no, Draymond's out there. Yeah, never mind. Yeah, LeBron should be very aggressively be helping off here. And then AD looking to rotate down. Top block. 2 on the ball. Good rotation D'Lo. Good rotation AD. Schroeder's late. Let's see it. D'Lo takes this away. AD takes that away. Dennis is watching and shuffling, and I remember doing a Dennis Schroeder breakdown video like 2 years ago, 3 years ago, when he was in the offseason joining the team, and that being a major takeaway is this guy's perimeter rotations are not very good. Nice box out LeBron. You can't let Draymond drive by you. And then he throws it right through Wiggins' hands. And then Lonnie's athleticism takes over. Again, the roll under. Again, LeBron cannot contain. Again, good rotation from D'Lo and nice recovery block from LeBron. Yeah, the stream's kind of choppy for me right now. It's on my computer's end. Oh yeah, this play is going to be difficult to guard because he comes this way and then also curls this way. An illegal screen. Yeah, super choppy right now. Ooh, okay, so smart play from Golden State. Draymond, it looks like Dennis is anticipating screen on his right, and then Draymond really quickly flips it around. Let's see, free throw. Ooh, again, super high ball screen, and again, Dennis rolls under it. That's what we want to see.
Thank you.
The Lakers did make this.
Thank you.
Whether it's in high drop or it's switching, we're seeing. Oh, beautiful, Sean. We're seeing it all. We're seeing it all on this play. We see Dennis roll under not once, but twice. He stays there, and then we see D'Lo leaving the non-shooter very aggressively. Very aggressively, he's there early, and then gets hands up.
We'd love to see it.
Dude, again, D'Lo rotating. really liked this play, by the way. We saw a pin and flare screen, slip middle. It's there. This is a bucket, and then
Dennis botches the pass, doesn't he? Oh yeah,
it looks like
Dennis. I remember now. Yep.
it
Looks
looks
like
like
he's
he's
throwing it
trying
to
to
the
pass to the corner.
corner.
He's looking
Yeah.
right at Anthony Davis.
AD is right in his face. I forgot about this play until I'm like just now. Dennis.
This one bothered me. There was this one, and then there's a Lonnie transition turnover around the same time that really was frustrating. Lonnie shot the hell out of the ball, but that pass and then the Lonnie transition turnover were atrocious. This play too, man. If he could have hit this shot, I want this picture framed in my house. But
I
he
would have
misses the
bought a
shot.
Lonnie Walker jersey on site mid playback stream. I would have shown everybody the receipt and everything. Bro dropped Steph Curry in a game of his life. Yeah, you got to cop a jersey.
So then again here, under from Dennis. This time he doesn't go under. 80's there to take away the immediate three. Look at D'Lo. D'Lo takes away the roll. And Dennis does a really good job recovering and getting into space. On the pass out, you can recover.
Again,
That's the thing. As
that,
long as this isn't like Klay Thompson or Steph Curry, you're going to be able to recover to these shooters and get a hand up.
and again, this just isn't stuff that you're normally going to catch live. And this is, again, helping my D'Angelo Russell is an underrated defender narrative. Like, he's in the right spots, like you mentioned, more often than not. Like, a lot of these clips in the fourth quarter, and again, I didn't get to the fourth of my rewatch, but D'Lo's doing a great job rotating and taking away the rolls on the high tag, or if he's in the low tag. So, D'Lo, heck of a job. Thank you for pushing my agenda. Joking. We don't have agendas, but...
Oh, God. Look at this pass, though.
Oh, yeah, I remember now. I forgot about this. Yeah, the pass is LeBron, or honestly, just keep it.
Just keep it. No one's stopping ball.
Like,
if you're going to,
Klay
like,
Thompson.
Yeah, either like one more dribble and then right here you would throw the ball to LeBron, but AD might be in the way. I would just be, at this point, play it like a 2v1 and attack the rim.
Yeah, like, because if Klay tries to step up and take a charge, that he's in the restricted area, that's a block. But yeah, go dunk on Klay.
And it's again, rolls under, takes away the roll. He gets the middle, Reaves rotates, 80 zoning up. Yeah, no, I get it. I get it, Dennis. Stay home on Steph. This was an interesting play.
I don't know if you've noticed it. Have the Warriors ran their Ram Ghost exit play yet in this series? I feel like I haven't seen it at all. I know they ran it the first, like, in terms of regular season against the Lakers. The first game, post trade deadline, where we went to Golden State and won. They ran at the end of the first, and Vando blew it up. But I haven't noticed it in this series. I'm a little surprised by that because I personally actually really like it. But I don't know. I don't know if you've noticed it at all.
I have not seen it. No, I think it'd be smart, but I have not seen it. Here we see Draymond effectively just seals 80, and we've got a nice big screen. This is kind of like Sean, I don't know if there's actually a name for this, but one of the top block counters that I drew up, after game one or at halftime of game one, is just walking the top block into a ball screen, and I just call it like a +1 ball screen because I'm planning a wedding and that's on my mind, and you bring an extra guy to the action. So you've got two guys screening Dennis here instead of just Draymond. Again, Reaves rotating off the poor shooter, trusting that AD can get out and recover. I like it. Double drag. Same concept. Clay just goes underneath. Split cut it here. Clay switches it. What is he jumping at? I guess just, yeah, okay. Yeah, right there, Steph kind of fakes the shot, so that gets Lonnie in the air. A sandwich screen. Ooh, interesting. These are smart. Like Golden State needs to do more of this. Give these three guys something to do so that this has a higher opportunity of being open. Look at it. Oh, look at it. It's beautiful. Look, his head's already going back. He hasn't even hit him yet. Look at the head just whip around. Oh, Lonnie. Laker ball.
That is an Oscar level performance. And the Academy Award for Best Head Whip goes to Lonnie Walker IV.
Oh, this pissed me off. I didn't like this play.
I honestly forgot that Clay hit that.
Step up. Again, Dennis goes under, gets the inside position. Stunt, recovery. I'd like to help defense a lot from Reaves and D'Lo here in the second half. Denial by Lonnie.
I remember really liking this possession. Yeah, just switch that.
Is this the one you were talking about?
I think that one. I didn't remember it being this late in the shot clock. So, like, for some reason, I thought it was a lot earlier. So this is the play that everybody's, like, griping about and, like, complaining, like, the talking heads or whatever. Like, I get it's not an ideal look. We got to give the Lakers defense credit. But there's 4.8 seconds left on the shot clock when Clay gets the shot up eventually. I mean, I'm not sure what, and now after looking at the film, like, what do you want Clay to do on that play? So,
yeah, there was nothing there. There was nothing there because the Lakers have done a really good job with when they are switching, like not giving up anything to the screener. Yeah. So it's not like he had a dump off for a layup or something like that. Again, your double drag shallow.
Yep.
The defense. Nice job by Lonnie.
They learned from
Look at him. He like.
Go ahead.
Yes. Look at him like hop around the screen. Right there. He like hops and then he hops back. Right there.
I was just gonna say, great job by the Lakers kind of learning from their mistake throughout this game. First, they run this on the. I'm assuming you probably already covered it, but they ran it very early. This is the third time, at least I counted, that they ran it. First time Clay gets a wide open three because D'Lo, if I recall correctly, doesn't do a great job staying with Clay, or you just have to switch it. The second time they switched it, Clay.
Yeah, they ran it twice in a row early.
Yeah, and then you go back to it here. So, yeah, good stuff on this possession.
I think there was a third time in the third quarter, but they didn't get anything off of it, so I didn't notice watching it live. AD, this is the third or fourth time that Steph was just able to go right by him. Even then, like he's, Austin take him. I've got this guy. You're not in an awful spot as long as you execute those peel off switches. But Austin's just not, he's not that kind of rim protector. Either
Yeah.
he's there for the charge, or if you can go around him, it's not a big deal.
Is this the this is the AD possession.
Then he has to do it again, right? Here we go. Good box outs all around. Almost all around. Good box out by LeBron. I will amend my statement.
Okay, wait, really, really quick. Tim, this is my pet peeve with this play, and we can watch it first and I'll explain. But I have a major I love Steve Kerr, but I have a major problem with this play call. But you can let it roll right quick and we can talk about the Lakers, how they blew it up, and then get to my pet peeve because I hated it.
Okay, tell me about it. Because in the moment, I actually kind of liked it. But I want to hear why you didn't like it.
Okay, so you're down 3, 15 seconds left. You have Steph inbounding, which to me was kind of a tip off that you're going away from Steph. So my problem with this play is that you're running first off, it's the keep hammer play, which Golden State's ran, especially throughout this dynasty with Kerr as the coach. So LeBron, basketball encyclopedia he probably knew it was coming, but neither here nor there. I just don't like. Go ahead.
I was gonna say the team better know what's coming and have someone with an iPad on the bench saying this is probably what they're going to. Like this is a Jordan Ott holding an iPad play in the timeout, saying this is exactly what we're anticipating. If they line up like this is what we're looking at. That's the kind of stuff. Like when we did some last playoffs, doing some team consulting, looking at the team our guys were going against. For one of the rounds, they had very specific things they wanted to do late, like out of bounds situations. And it was like, all right, if they set up this way, they run these two plays and you can defend both of them the same way. Or if they set up this way, this is the only play they really run out of it. So,
right.
This is the time of year to have self-scouted and then run tendency breakers, because otherwise this is the result. The Lakers know the hammer's coming. People calling out LeBron for being the biggest genius there ever was. This isn't like they were ready for this. So it's smart, it's good, but I don't know, it's not genius. But why I liked it was because you have a 3-point chance potentially. You know what? I guess not really, because he doesn't. This is a keep no matter what. So you have an opportunity for maybe a layup, and then you've got a timeout. Or you're putting AD in a rim protection position and then asking LeBron to navigate off-ball screens, which is, as a defense, I kind of like this. You're putting the non-shooter strong side, or the least good shooter strong side, so Reaves isn't really going to. And so in theory, you tried to have this either be a layup or that kick out three, and you've got Draymond attacking Dennis Schroeder, and he's just not able to drive strong at all, and they defend the hammer well. So it was just, I thought it was a decent, like the play itself is a really good play to me, even in the situation with 13 left with a timeout. It was just executed perfectly by LA, and I guess that's part of the problem is this was too predictable.
Yeah, so for me, my thing is like, maybe I probably wouldn't have used Draymond as the driver personally, and then also why I don't like hammer concepts down 3, because if you're going to go for the hammer, now you could make the argument that it clears out any help, and it's a one-on-one drive. But then again, I think that leads more towards why is Draymond on ball. But in order to get the 3 off or get the 3 to work, you need to get the weak sides. Like you need AD to come over and try to contest at the rim to get the 3-point look. and he doesn't, right? Whereas if you're down 2 and let's say, I don't know, that's Steph, Jordan Poole, whoever, right? And it's a drive or you just keep it and it's the drive towards the rim, AD is more likely or more prone to step over, try to contest at the rim, and then you could kick out corner. So personally, I just think it was more down 3. I'm gonna go ahead, Draymond, go 1-on-1 at the rim, right? And personally, I will take that. Dennis does a great job here. Obviously, the Lakers did a great job scouting this play. But personally, I don't know. I felt like there were other plays that I've seen the Warriors run. Like, Tim, I don't know if you recall game 1 against Memphis last year, second round. They go to what I title like the Phoenix play from the Suns teams with D'Antoni, where it's like a box alignment and it's player goes through the middle. Then I'd have to draw it up, but I'll send it to you. I'm sure you've probably seen it. But or like the winner set, which honestly that might be a little predictable too because the Lakers.
You can't run that anymore. Everybody's ready for that.
Everybody's ready for it. But I don't know. I personally, from what I would have done, I just wouldn't have ran a hammer keep set that is Draymond driving to the rim, Steph not touching the ball, and I'm down 3. Personally, that's just my personal preference.
What if you had Wiggins, Draymond, and then Steph is the guy keeping, and then you have either Clay, DiVincenzo, or Poole, Clay. So you still have a shooter. You still have a big man that you know AD is going to be on. You try to take him away, or if he's over here, you've got a 1v1 drive. Wiggins is a good enough shooter. This guy's out of the play. You've got whoever this guy is has to be a shooter, and then this guy has to be someone you actually want driving. I don't know that I want Klay Thompson driving. I don't really want I totally get why they put Draymond in the situation because he's used to running this stuff, but who? If we're just purely ranking the top drivers for Golden State, it's like Steph and Poole are the 2 best guys at like getting to the rim. Steph's been a great finisher at the rim.
And then also, you're more likely to get a Steph Curry and one at the rim, which the Lakers, I'm sure, like if it's a rim attempt, well, I don't know, Dennis is a little clumsy, but like personally, even though I don't like the hammer concept down 3 anyway, right? Because again, why would I help off? I would have still just put the ball in Steph's hand to go keep. So if you want to go Steph, because also Steph inbounds it. So if you want to go Draymond inbounds it, throws it into Steph or whoever, right? You could still kind of go handoff because I think there's the fear of you hand it off to Draymond and you get it right back, which Golden State does get a ton of success off of. You can still kind of play off that fear, if you will, and Steph keeps it and Steph attacks. Same concept. If you want to still have the hammer in, sure, right? But I don't know. Me personally, I don't like that it was Draymond, I guess, as the driver, where, like you said, if it's JP, Steph is the driver, AD is more likely to commit on that drive, even though who knows, right? But if I'm AD or LeBron, I'm not committing on a Draymond Green drive to the rim with 14 seconds left in a playoff game.
How about this, Sean?
Okay.
Same personnel everywhere else, but you flip these 2 guys. Steph on the keep is looking to drive. Wiggins sets the hammer flare. Draymond, they're going to leave him alone. We've got 2 guys probably on Steph here. Draymond sets the veer throwback screen.
That's
for Steph too. Because AD's knowing the hammer is something they likely do, he's probably out of the play, even though this guy isn't actually setting the screen. And then if AD does leave, Wiggins is a good cutter. Again, these guys are out of the play. If LeBron tries to overplay that, he's going to be out of position for this. And you probably have a 2v1 against LeBron, who's a poor screen navigator regardless, because Draymond isn't that threat.
Exactly. Yeah.
So
I like this a lot of ton too. Yeah.
And it could be an option play potentially for Clay is if Draymond's alone, go that way. If someone's on Draymond, use this one.
Yeah.
Because if someone's on Draymond, that means Steph has a 1v1 unless this guy comes over.
And then that's where Clay just uses the hammer or the flare, honestly, at that point. And Clay can be open. So, I don't know.
Yeah. for a team with some of the best like off-ball screen attacks and players, like I don't know, throw an extra option in there. Draymond Green, a guy who's like a D plus, D minus rim shot maker this year, trying to drive is just not. It's not the best situation. Now, if in this situation both of these guys go with Steph, then yeah, it's a layup unless AD comes over, in which you've got the three. That's how you draw it up. But I think you have to just think about like, all right, well, what if this doesn't work? Then what's the situation? Or and there's no good backup.
If you wanted to go quick too, you could have also went handed it off to Steph. And then you have Wiggins for the corner.
Just
slip it. And then you could have Wiggins. Yep, same thing. And then if they want to overcommit on the Klay Thompson 3, Wiggins just slips. Like, I don't know. I felt like for this situation to have the ball in Draymond Green's hands with 14 seconds left, I don't know. I don't know. If Steph, if you want to run the same play with Steph, with the ball in Steph's hands, I still don't love it, but I'm like, okay, ball's in Steph's hands. Go get a quick layup or whatever. You can play the foul game. You have a timeout, but
yeah, I think the problem with like the Draymond cut might not be open just based on how late game you probably say. And the Lakers had been switching everything. They might just say we're going to continue switching everything. And in the second half, the Lakers did a really good job getting underneath the roller and cutting that off. So this just may not have been available.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not mad regardless. I mean, the Lakers won, so I mean, shrug, but I don't know. Yeah, this is because
it's not there. What do you do? Like if Draymond just dribbles into a post up,
you're better
against them. Sure, he probably gets a great shot.
Or you can go split cut like Moody, go split cut game with Steph, or honestly use that last timeout and draw something up under out.
Yeah, or with this being switched, Wiggins should have inside position here.
And just slip it, yeah.
Just swim move and go.
Yeah.
So I think Draymond's execution, like the play design we can critique, but Draymond's execution, he has to at this point just read that this is not there.
Yeah. And then, like I said, either just post up Dennis and maybe you go split cut game, or just call timeout. Both options are better than just throwing it error pass.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like that's what that would look like. And then, I mean, go ahead and do this on the opposite side. Just to take those guys out of the play. And then, oh, by the way, you have a 6-foot guy that you're posting up. Or however tall Dennis is. Yeah, we got away with one. I feel like the Lakers kind of stole this. Lakers got outplayed in this game.
Oh, for sure.
To me.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I thought we saw some really smart adjustments in the second half. I think people can say, oh, they should have run more ball screens. Well, we saw the Lakers fix the ball handler defender technique in the second half. And whether the Lakers were in high drop or switching, they were better off with those tweaks. So I was happy to see that. I think that'll carry over. It's not just, oh, the Lakers just decided to switch and that's it. Like, no, there were some little things they did along with it or with the other coverages they ran, because they didn't only switch in the second half.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty happy. This was the last play. We've gotten through the Lakers defense rewatch. I'm going to go to bed, but thank you everyone for sticking around. Sean, is there anything you want to plug?
Nah, not right now. Appreciate you, bro, and yeah, we'll stay in touch for sure.
Sweet. All right. Good night, everyone. I'll switch this over to the basketball game that's on right now, which I think is still happening, right? I think Denver's still playing. Yeah, they should still be playing. Let me just make sure I'm on the right channel. Okay, yeah. On TNT, Suns at Nuggets, it's Denver 45, Phoenix 42. So, enjoy.
one of them.
You okay? Freaks you out first, doesn't it? Time travel.
Who are you?
I'm someone with answers to your questions. Welcome to the Lazarus Project. How'd you like to come and save the world?
The Lazarus Project premieres June 4th on TNT.
Tomorrow,